Hey, good morning. It's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's September 21st, 2023. Today we should see, I'm thinking it's going to be mostly sunny, but I threw partly sunny in there because I'm a little hesitant with all the moisture around us. But it's going to be fairly dry today. We're going to be in a dry slot of air. There's going to be rain and snow happening kind of over in the eastern mountains today, like the Lost Rivers, but I don't anticipate anything for the Wood River, Sawtooth, and kind of more central mountains. It's going to be cooler. We're going to have highs in the upper 50s in the valleys, and that low pressure system is centered over southwest Idaho right now. Tomorrow is when we can see some chance of precip. We're going to have highs in the mid 50s, so drop a few more degrees. Yeah, and that being said, today and tomorrow we're like 20 degrees below normal for temperatures. We're going to see some rain and snow showers, snow above 8,000 feet, so mostly mountain pass level. And then the system's going to move kind of from the west to east across the Idaho Nevada border. And then looking ahead for the weekends, looks like it's going to be a pretty nice weekend. We might have some wraparound moisture happening Saturday morning, but I think don't really anticipate any major precipitation. We're going to have high pressure ridging in place, so we should have a nice weekend. There is going to be likely a frost warning. It's too early for Pocatello to put that out. But Friday morning and Saturday morning specifically look like the coldest mornings for us in the Wood River Valley. Stanley, it's been pretty cold up there, so you probably already have been having frost every morning. So try to save those vegetable gardens that you have, preserve them for a few more weeks in our short season that we have here. And then the storms definitely dwindled quite a bit because that low pressure is sitting right overhead right now. We'll kind of go over that more in a second, but that means we're getting less rain and snow amounts in the mountains. You can see in the Wood River Valley, even Stanley, like we're looking at a tenth to maybe 2/10 of an inch of rain. No snow in the valley floors. Like I said, it's going to be high elevation snow. So we're not looking like we're going to get as much snow as, 2 days ago. Forecast was kind of, the maps were all over the place, uh, trying to figure out when these bands of moisture, where they're going to be and how strong they're going to be. So looks like kind of southeast Idaho is going to be taking the brunt of all the systems moving through. You can see the Lost Rivers are going to be kind of the winners for snow, looking like 6 to maybe a couple spots of 12 inches, and those are going to be probably mostly, the peaks themselves. Again, the snow line is going to be 8 to 8,500 feet. But Pioneers look like they could pick up some good snow. We'll look at that as we get kind of through the forecast more. All right, let's look at last night because we did have some rain come through. So this is current satellite, or not current radar. Blue dots, Haley. You can see there's a big band of moisture working its way up through Pocatello and kind of entering mostly the Lemhis and over towards on the way to the Tetons. So we're kind of in this big dry slot of air right now, not seeing too much moisture. But that being said, we did have some rain over in the Lost Rivers, about 2/10 of an inch. You can see south of there, it got hit with harder rain, almost an inch over in the southern part of the range. And then where else? The Sawtooth, it looks like they picked up close to 1/10 of an inch. I'm guessing that was kind of this morning. Not and it's pretty dry here in Haley. I just walked outside and sidewalk or the streets are dry. I didn't have any precip in my tube this morning, unfortunately. All right, looking at the lower level water vapor map, you can see we got quite a lot going on. We have this tropical system. I think this is Ken. That is kind of dwindling down here in off of Baja. Not really much going on there. We have our low pressure system just to the west of us, and then this plume of moisture kind of heading in, and that's going to be the next maker next week. But let's stay focused on now. So yeah, you can see this beautiful rotating low pressure counterclockwise rotation system working its way through pretty much eastern Oregon and southwest Idaho right now. And this is going to rotate down to the south a little bit and then to the east tomorrow. So since we have this low pressure, like the center of it's going to be right overhead, that's why we're kind of lacking all that moisture and not going to be getting that juicy early season snowstorm that it was looking prominent a few days ago. So the eastern mountains are going to kind of take the brunt of that force. The Lost Rivers, the Lemhis are going to get kind of be the winners with that. You can see this big area of dry air here. Again, all this blue moisture blue areas, that's moisture, and these orange and red are dry air. So that's what's going to be going through today. So no major precip. This is 500 millibars, so this is looking at the jet stream elevation. You can see our low pressure here. Kind of put this map in motion. It sags and drops down to the west of us today and kind of breaks down a little bit, but it's still there. And then tomorrow it's going to move to the east, and we're pretty much going to be right in the center of it. Again, that's why we're missing all of that moisture. And then it'll be out of our zone by Saturday. Let's look at the HRRR forecast. Taking a second to load. There we go. All right, so you can see there's some moisture that came through this morning. That's what's unloaded on Arco and Lost Rivers. But we're pretty much in this big dry area here today, with that low being somewhere right here. All that moisture is going to just get pushed up around us. So big donut hole today. And then as we progress this thing forward, you can see that band in the southern part of Idaho is like trying ever so slightly to come up into the Wood River Valley and doesn't. And this is a model, so it's not perfect. It's so close to us that I would imagine we're going to get some precip out of that. This is for tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So it looks like, the Lost Rivers are definitely going to be taking a lot of this. Going to be seeing some scattered thunder showers in there, some good rain, probably snow, certainly in the morning hours, maybe not as much in the afternoon. You probably have to be pretty high in elevation to get snow. And that's going to be kind of wrapping itself, almost like wraparound moisture at this point, to the eastern mountains. So it looks like the Smokies and the Sawtooths are going to meet probably fairly dry. It looks like the Boulders and Pioneers and the Lost Rivers are really going to be getting the chunk of this, the small chunk, we'll say, of this storm. This is a little closer look at what the NWS out of Pocatello is thrown up of what they think the totals are going to be based on different maps. So yeah, let me adjust here. So we have like the Lost River, or sorry, Pioneer Mountains here are going to be getting some, looks like 4 to 5 inches, and then the Lost Rivers up to 8 inches on this map. And we'll take a little bit closer look at the Central Mountains. Lost River is going to be kind of over here in this swath. So this is for today. You can see maybe a ½ inch of snow. Tomorrow, kind of similar story. Or tonight, I should say. Tomorrow is kind of be when that most of the moisture makes its way through and pick up a few inches in the Pioneers, and then again the Lost Rivers, mostly the southern section it looks like, is going to be getting more snowfall, and that's 4 to 6 inches there. So we're kind of wrap this up. Not too much happening today. I don't expect it to be fairly dry and mostly sunny. And then tonight, mostly tomorrow is when we'll see our precipitation kind of come into the area, and that's going to be pretty unknown to how directly it's going to be overhead. But we'll tune in tomorrow morning and we'll give you the latest update.